Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Trevon Diggs situation. And then we're also going to be talking about the ways in which that the Dallas Cowboys can beat the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football, which is a very important game for the Dallas Cowboys to try and stay alive for this playoff hopes. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video. Subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. Straight into it, man, with this Trevon Diggs situation. And you know, for me, the situation, right? I feel like, in my personal opinion, things went downhill after the injury. What I mean by that is, you know, he gets hurt week 3 in 2023. That was the famous Arizona game. He gets hurt. Defense tries to go play for him. We get ran out the building, right? But we lose that game. You know, the rest of the season goes how it goes. We hear about it in the offseason that he wasn't attacking rehab correctly. The team was upset about that. They didn't so much like for that, or you know, they didn't like how that happened. 2024 happens. Bam, he plays the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday night. Re-injures his knee again. He's out for the rest of the year. And then again, there was reports earlier this year of March, it was reported by Ricky Scoops that Trevon Diggs was potentially going to get dealt by the new league year and possibly get traded or released. I forgot what the report exactly was from Ricky Scoops at the time. But it was reported that Dallas Cowboys were trying to get rid of Trevon Diggs. Then they dock him $500,000 for not rehabbing with the team, but rehabbing on his own. So I feel like that was right there. That was the big domino to fall. Then we drafted Savon Revel Jr. I really liked Savon Revel Jr. I really liked his game coming out of Eastern Carolina. Trevon Diggs is, to start out the season, I felt that he rushed himself back to prove to not only himself but to the front office, try to stick it to the front office that he can play at a high level. And I felt like he ended up putting himself at a major detriment, in my opinion. Things didn't turn out the way it did. Defense was terrible. Again, you have a defensive coordinator who doesn't know the type of personnel that he has in the building. He's trying to play off zone when he has bump and run, press man corners, and he's trying to play them 5-10 yards off the ball. It's terrible the way in which the scheme is with the type of corners that we do have, right? So I just don't think that's smart anyway. So Trevon Diggs hasn't been playing well and things of that nature. I felt that if Trevon Diggs was playing at a high level, all of this for the most part will be swept under the rug. If he was playing at a high level when he is playing games, he was shutting down, you know, your former, you know, your top wide receiver and taking the ball away, things that he was doing from 2021 to the first 2 weeks in 2023, we wouldn't even be here talking about this conversation because Trevon Diggs will be back already. He would have been playing, his first game back would have been Detroit because that's when he was healthy. Then he has a, he does a presser, where they do the individual press conferences. All the great reporters for the Dallas Cowboys talked to Trevon Diggs. He said that he was healthy and that he feels fine. He feels ready to go. Then there was a report earlier this morning, shout out to Jordan Schultz, was saying how Trevon Diggs, he will not play. But the coaches asked Trevon Diggs, hey, you gotta practice well. You gotta come into the building correctly. You gotta exit practice correctly as well. You gotta do everything from start and finish once you get here. So it was reported and described to Jordan Schultz that it was a great week of practice. Multiple sources have told the relationship between Diggs and the Cowboys has soured and been severed. So the last time that Trevon Diggs did play was week 6. I believe that was against Carolina, was the last time that he played. So for me, I just feel like his time here is done. The Dallas Cowboys will move off him. They will make him a post-June first cut. And, they'll get some cap savings from that. I believe 12.2 million, closer around that range. They'll get to letting go of Trevon Diggs. Now it sucks because I felt like if Trevon Diggs got to go, I feel like Eberflus got to go as well. If we're getting one person for not being consistent and not doing their job, That's fine. I don't mind getting rid of Trevon Diggs. If you get rid of Trevon Diggs, all I ask in return is that you get somebody who's better than him right now. That's all I ask. But another person I got to go, in my opinion, Matt Eberflus. Eberflus got to go as well. They're both not doing their job. They're both not doing what they're supposed to. They're both not playing up to snuff. They got to go, in my opinion, both of them. If that's how we're going to play. If we're going to hold, hey, Trevon Diggs is not living up to the cultural standard that the Dallas Cowboys and Brian Schottenheimer is trying to set here in Dallas, that's fine. Brian Schottenheimer has been consistent through and through, so that's why I can't get upset with him. Jaden Blue hasn't been doing anything. He hasn't been doing what he's supposed to be doing. He hasn't been playing. Mike Smith wasn't supposed to be doing what he was supposed to be doing. He's up out of here. He's in Jersey playing with the Jets. So, Kyrie Elam got benched. Already cool. Now I feel like another person who hasn't been playing up to snuff, linebacker Kenneth Murray. But we'll see. We're gonna find out Sunday night. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna find out Sunday night. But I'm not upset. Like it's just, unfortunately, it's a business. So once the outside noise is not up to snuff, organizations are gonna get rid of you. So it just is what it is ultimately. So now let's talk about this game. The report. The players I listed as questionable are Jadeveon Clowney was still with a hamstring. Jake Ferguson popped up on the injury report with a calf injury. He was limited on Wednesday and Friday's practice, and he didn't practice at all on Thursday. He's listed as questionable, and Tyler Guyton will be out for Sunday night's game as well. So that means Nate Thomas will get the third consecutive start on Sunday night. Pretty much the injury report for Minnesota Vikings, it looks clean in terms of Ty Chandler, their third string running back, he's questionable, and Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, he has been limited on Friday, but he didn't practice on Wednesday or Thursday. He will be a game time decision, or questionable is his game status. Now, the number one way in which that we have to beat this team, in my opinion, we have to start out fast. These slow starts in which that your offense has been playing, and your defense as well, but mainly I'm talking about your offense here. If you do not start fast offensively, the Vikings can get out to an early lead. And not only that, but if you don't, you do not want this defense and Brian Flores to get a beat on your offense and make it very difficult for your team. So I think if we can get Minnesota off their rhythm, we score fast, we dictate the pace of the game, we go out there, put up 7 points, we'll be just fine, in my opinion. Where it's going to be a hell of a matchup between the Dallas Cowboys offense versus the Minnesota Vikings defense. The Minnesota Vikings are an inverse of your own team. They're a top 10 unit defensively, while their offense is very lackluster, right? J.J. McCarthy hasn't been doing his job. Carson Wentz went in there, looked pretty decent. But again, Minnesota Vikings are a damn good team. I'm not coming into this game sleeping on them. We got to take this team seriously, especially from a defensive side of the football. They're going to be damn good. The second thing that we have to do in this game, and you have to establish your run game. You're able to establish your run game. You can play action off of that. Creeps up those linebackers like Ivan Pace and Andrew Van Ginkel. It gets those guys antsy, right? So you play action. They have to think a little bit. Once they think, we go over the top because we got dudes. We already know what we got with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Brian Flournoy. I like the wide receivers in which we have, and they've been looking good for the majority of the year. So let's keep doing that. The third thing, and what it always comes down to in these high-level football games, is the trenches, right? I feel like offensively and defensively, that's where most times you will win or lose a game. That's how a game is dictated in this league, right? So I feel that winning in the trenches will be very key in this game. You know, protecting Dak from the blitzes is going to be super helpful as well. Dak is very good against the blitz, so we're going to see what Brian Flores is going to do when it comes to blitzing Dak Prescott. He will obviously try to do it in timely downs and things of that nature, but you got to have it downs, got to have it moments, you know, in the game, whether that is 4 minutes or that 2-minute situation. If the Dallas Cowboys are trying to score before half, they're going to try to do something like that. So you're going to see timely blitzes from this team, but we have to pay attention for it, and the Dallas Cowboys have to protect Dak. That's the most important thing. And then let's attack this secondary. I know they are top 5 when it comes to defending the pass, but I understand they do have Isaiah Rodgers Sr., they have Byron Murphy. They have some really good, solid players. But again, I feel like I know my dudes are better than their dudes. We just have to go up there, protect Dak Prescott. People have to win on their routes, and we can ultimately get at the secondary, is what I'm trying to say. Protect the ball offensively. We'll be fine. Limit the offensive penalties that you can control. You know, offsides, delay a game, things like that, right? Illegal formation, illegal shift, things like that. Things that we can control, let's control them. Now let's talk about the defensive side of the football. Again, J.J. McCarthy, and I talk about all these quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks that come into the league today, they've been playing 7-on-7 their entire life. They're used to that style of football. If you're playing 10 to 12 yards off the football and you give these damn good wide receivers, you know, they got Justin Jefferson, who is on his way to make potentially carving himself out a potential Hall of Fame career. Jordan Addison is a damn good wide receiver in this league as well. You cannot sleep on him. You got Jalen Naylor. That's their deep threat guy that can throw the ball downfield, and that's the guy that tries to stretch the defense vertically. TJ Hawkinson, you have to pay attention to. Backup tight end Isaiah Oliver. You know, they have some decent weapons to get the ball to. J.J. McCarthy has been an accurate quarterback. He has not been playing well so far to start of his NFL career. But what the Washington Commanders were doing, they were playing 10 to 12 yards off the ball, giving those damn good wide receivers all the cushion in the world. J.J. McCarthy got the ball, took 3-step drop, 5-step drop, was able to complete his passes, and he looked like a solid quarterback. I feel like what we have to do, and we'll see, if Matt Eberflus is worth a damn and he's worth keeping his job, he has to understand the tendencies of the other team. He has to do his part and do his homework and hold up his end of the project, right? So defensively, you can't play 8 to 12 yards off the ball. If you do, what happened against Washington is what can happen to us defensively. Offensively is what will keep us in the game, but if defensively we're doing that, defensively they're not doing their part, and that ultimately lands on Matt Eberflus. If, again, you're playing 8 to 12 yards and giving Jettas and Jordan Addison all the room in the cushion, right? Mix up coverages. Again, this is a young quarterback. This is, for me, his rookie year. Yes, this is technically his second year in the league, but this is his first year playing. Mix up the coverages. Give him something he hasn't seen before. Give him something pre-snap. Switch it up post-snap. Change the picture on this quarterback and have him think. Have him think when he has to draw back and take that 3-step drop. Now he has to pat the ball a little bit longer because they have a terrible offensive line when it comes, especially in the interior. I feel like Quinnen, Kenny, Osa can get to this quarterback, and I feel like Rock can also win on the outside as well, right? But the coverages confuse J.J. McCarthy. Terrible passer for right now in his career. He's terrible throwing the ball downfield. He's not very accurate. Let's take care of that. Let's mix up the coverages, and let's get some pressures in his face, you know? Stop the run. Don't let Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason take the pressure off of J.J. McCarthy. Don't let them go off. Those are the last people that I want going off. If Justin Jefferson does his thing, he's due for a good game against the Dallas Cowboys. He has not had a good game against the Dallas Cowboys, especially when Trevon has been healthy. But again, stop the run. The Vikings offensive line isn't great, so you have to win up front. And I talked about how important the trenches are. Limit the big plays. I already talked about limiting penalties. But let's stay focused and let's win this game, and the rest will figure itself out. That's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed.